Fairfax County is a suburb of Washington, D.C. We're about 30 miles west of the city. We are just over 1 million people, 400 square miles, so pretty big. And we are also one of the wealthiest counties in the entire country, which always kind of makes the presence of homelessness more surprising for people on the outside looking in. Unsheltered homelessness in a suburb looks very different than it does in an urban area. It's mostly hidden out of sight, tents in the woods, sleeping in cars, abandoned buildings. We've managed to reduce homelessness by 50% in about the last 10 years. But clearly, if we're still serving, 1,200 people on any night and 3,000 people over the course of a year, we still have, quite a long way to go. We also are similar to many communities in the country where we see a significant disparity in the race of people experiencing homelessness. 10% of Fairfax County identifies as Black or African American, and our homeless population is made up of more than 50% of people who identify as Black and African American. You can house people all day, every day, but if you're not doing anything to prevent people from becoming homeless in the first place, your system is just going to keep being this revolving door. While exiting people into permanent housing is something we strive for every day, we also really need to figure out how to stop people from becoming homeless in the first place.
We need to come to the table with a conversation of compassion, right? And also a problem-solving discussion with people, which means diversion.
It's a different beast than our regular case management with rapid rehousing and, obviously our permanent supportive housing and whatnot. So it gives you that flexible funding, but it's also a flexibility in what you can offer, how you can respond.
We're the team that's there to saying, yeah, I'm helping you guide through this. So did you do this yet? Okay, so once you do that, then this is the next step. This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
And it's like the person now has got the motivation and feel the support that they now can go out and do this.
We need to see the privilege of working with these individuals that are coming to us to say, you're coming to me for help. Like, that's a privilege. That is a privilege that we get to help people move through. But in order to do that, we have to understand who they are and exactly what you are saying, what they want.
This is normally our mobile office whenever we have to go and drop off checks and all those things. So step into my office.
How are you?
Oh, thank you. You as well. Look at your place.
I was going through a domestic violence issue with my ex-husband, and I had to leave my house. Nobody had a bed for me. She would encourage me and try to help me at my darkest time. Going into November, it started to get cold. And I thought I would end up having to sleep in my car, but that never happened. I actually moved here on June the 6th. One of the first things I did, I text Miss Sandra, and I'm so grateful. I don't take none of it for granted.
Oh, now you're making me cry. Don't do that, girl.
The work keeps you going. And you realize, oh man, I didn't eat, but you're like fueled because you're doing the work.
Plus, it's exciting right now. Like, we're getting to actually see 3 clients that been housed within the last 2.5 months. Oh, look at you. Oh, Mr. Banks. I love this couch.
Man, look at this.
And now you've been here for a month, right?
Yeah, it's been a month. Yeah, a month.
Wow.
I was on the verge of being in the street. And I'd never been in the street before, I lived out Bowie, Maryland for over 30 years, and I moved to Virginia about 3 years ago when me and my wife split up. I was very sick, ill with diabetes, high blood pressure, neuropathy, and neuropathy really tore me up, my legs and feet be hurting I never thought that I was going to be homeless. You know, never thought that a day in my life because, you know, I always worked all the time. I was a master plumber. It's just so that I got sick that I couldn't work again. They really helped me a lot. They paid my rent, and I'm very grateful. I got this place, and, you know, everything been going uphill ever since.
Each time you pick up the phone, you really don't know what's on the other end of it, right? If someone's calling for diversion services, they're in a crisis. Big, small, doesn't matter, they're in a crisis. And at that time, they're going to share with us all the things that are ailing them. And we have to be ready for it. So every single day, every day.
I gotta give you a hug. I'm so sorry. You might not even like nobody to touch you, but I don't care.
I like the love, you know what I mean? This is my supervisor, Sandra McLean.
Look, I gotta give you, because he kept saying, let me talk to my supervisor, honey. Come on in. You gotta excuse the mess. I like it because it came with a nice microwave. Like
I see you've been cooking. You've been cooking.
Well, I cooked this morning for the first time. Oh. My friend made some bacon and eggs.
Yeah.
So,
I bet that felt good.
Yeah, it did. Man. It really did. I got my key 2 weeks ago, but I still went back to my son's house.
Because that's where you were temporarily staying.
Yeah, I was temporarily staying in my son's house. I don't understand how I got to that point. I got a notice on my door. And it said you had 60 days to move.
Wow.
They said that they just wasn't renewing my lease. I have mental health issues. And I went into an immediate depression. I somehow caught pneumonia and got real sick. And finally my friend said, you know what, I don't care what you say, what you do, I'm calling an ambulance. And a good thing he did, because part of my lung had started collapsing.
Oh, wow.
And so I stayed in the hospital like 14 days, 2 weeks. When I came home, you know I gotta be out.
Yeah. Right.
I had been homeless years ago, like I'm almost 60. In my late 20s, you know, I was out there. And I used to sleep in the woods, under bridges. I had tents, all the whole 9 yards. But I'm like, I can't do that no more. And ever since I got in touch with you, the ball was rolling. It was rolling. He said, Miss Peterson, we're gonna get you in there. We're gonna pay your security deposit. We're gonna pay your first. I was like, oh yeah, I'm in there. I said, I'm in there now.
This is actually what makes diversion work, is because it will take a little extra. This is how I know we're doing the right things. Listen to you say, like the step 1, step 2, step 3. People along the way don't always tell you all the things. But to know that Mr. Smith's taking the time to say, well, yo, you got to do this.
And he give you homework, too.
He gives you homework, too.
Okay, Miss Peters, I'm going to call you tomorrow. You got to do this. And I say, okay, I'll have it done by the time you call.
You know, we're like co-conspirators with our clients. Like, we're in this together. Let's go.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Smith, thank you. If you wasn't married, I'd marry you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. That means a lot.
Now you see how I felt.
Yeah. I was trying to hold it back the whole time.
It's a lot. Oh, I was crying. It's just whatever.
It's just good to hear the sincerity and genuality from people, the people that you help. It's good to hear from them, because you assuming like, oh, I'm doing good, but when you hear from somebody like, yes.
When we're talking about the mission of preventing and ending homelessness in the United States, there are some communities seeing real progress. We see a lot of bright spots around the country, and it's not that any community has figured it all out. There are common elements of an effective solution, but solutions can't be cookie cutter. Homelessness is deeply entrenched in our public landscape, it's deeply entrenched in our communities, and it's been a crisis decades in the making. So we need to figure out really long-term sustainable solutions for this.
When it comes to homelessness, the answer is housing and services. Everything else is commentary. So we can talk about how we get the housing and the services, but we have to realize that that has to be the starting point.
We all win when our communities thrive. We all win when every child in this country is brought up in a safe, affordable home. I think we need to really believe it and say it. We all win when we solve homelessness. We know how to solve homelessness. We need to get the political will to do it.
If we don't keep the pressure on, if we don't make people aware, and especially those in elective office, aware of the common sense solutions, they won't be enacted. We have to understand that homelessness is the problem. Homeless people are not the problem, and we can solve homelessness if we devote our resources, if we devote our compassion, if we say that we want to care for our neighbor as we care for ourselves. We can make huge strides. We have to continue moving people out of homelessness into housing, but even more so, we have to prevent people from falling into homelessness to begin with.